All right, testing 1, 2. Making sure we're back, making sure stream captions are on this time. Is chat able to see this?
Have to double check since we're back.
Refresh chat. Hey, okay, cool. We're in. All right, so let me see who redeemed points. Silver, Agrayan, and Cardrad. Silver, Agrayan, Cardrad. All right. Anyway, so that is the only 2. You can still redeem. If you are not picked, you will get your points refunded. We just want you to redeem if you are interested in being a super volunteer and are eligible. So anyway, Kate gave me permission to read their second one. So the first time that we did Kate's, they, for various reasons, ended up overthinking the scenario. They were like, well, you told me to do this, but what if this happened instead? What if this is the scenario? And they ended up making a choice based on a hypothetical that they came up with instead of distinctly what the game was asking them to do. The basic way to describe it is that they overthought it. And the description that it gave them on the first time around was very harsh. Like, it actually caught me off guard with how harsh it was to Kate. So when we did it the second time, I told them, hey, don't hypothetical about like, oh, well, what if this was going to happen instead, or what else was going to happen. Just literally look at it as the game is telling you to do this. The question being asked is, do you help this person or not? Not, does helping them end up causing a bad thing to happen? Not, does it still count if I deviate from the path and then I come back and help them? Just ask yourself the question that's being asked and answer, do I do this or not? And when they did that, when they did it the second time and just followed their gut, their instinct of, do I help this person? Do I go this direction? Do I answer it this way? And went with purely what they would do in that moment, yes or no, the description it gave Kate was, let me find it. Are you familiar with the expression straight arrow? It describes you perfectly. You may not realize it, but you are incapable of lying. Your dishonesty shows instantly on your face. And you are as impressionable as you are honest, often becoming swept up in events around you. Fear of failure may make you overcautious at times, so you must strive to overcome it and learn to act decisively and boldly. Do so, and you may find a new self waiting within. That line, fear of failure may make you overcautious at times. The whole reason they got the first result that was totally not like them was because they had been overcautious, trying to think of all these hypothetical scenarios, and fearing doing the wrong thing made them pick something other than what was true to themselves. It is unreal how accurate these quizzes were to us when all we did was just answer truthfully and do what was true to our hearts. So,
so cool.
I'm already excited to play through this game. It will call you out. So it's gonna be easier said than done, because like I said, we didn't get our honest responses until we did the quiz a second time. But I implore you, if you are playing the game, you have to be 100% truthful. If the sign is telling you don't go this direction, and you're like, if something told me to do that, curiosity would get the better of me, then you have to follow that. If something tells you, if it puts you in a scenario, it says, hey, you're no longer yourself. What would you do in this scenario? Would you try to talk to people? Would you simply leave? You have to answer yourself, what would I do? If I understand what happens if I do option A, do I look for another option? Just, oh my God, it's so good. Anyway, we're going to end up starting a minute late if I go any further, but just letting you all know, I am trying to find time to enjoy myself, but the work is still coming first, so thank you all for being patient. Color, take it away.
We need our volunteers.
Yes,
so let's
we do.
spin the wheel.
All right.
And then we'll get on to the whole thing.
Here we go. I'm going to wait on the halfway point. Let's go. And our super volunteer is... Gold Aragorn. There you go. Bronze Aerodactyl.
Yeah.
Yay! Get in here.
Congrats, you are
You've become father.
Get in here. Oh, there they are. All right, good job. Color, while I grab my water, please run us through the rigmarole.
Nope.
All right, let's run through the rigmarole. Hey there, everyone. We're here to have fun, but also want to have a clean live dub. So that means do not force the funny. The funny will happen naturally. So that also means do not talk over people who are speaking their lines. Quipping is okay only if a character is being referenced to or is on screen. If your character is not on screen or not being referenced to, then please refrain from talking. We have mute buttons and push to talk for good news. Remember, we are not an airport. If you must depart and or come back, you do not need to announce it to everyone. If you need to if you need to tell somebody, then tell one of the mods. And remember, if you cannot judge yourself for any of these rules, we will judge you for you. By breaking these rules of the courtroom, we'll put you in penalty of being part of the updated
Did I miss
autopsy
anything?
report. I'm going to mute this.
I literally just got back. I'm sorry. How long were you
Right
waiting?
in the middle of the disclaimer.
Oh, I'm
Right
sorry.
in the middle.
See,
Bark.
the funny will happen naturally.
I swear to God, Sean.
If any of you else try to do that, I do have power over you. I have no power
Yeah.
over this man.
I mean, we can kick him from the call.
Please
Put your
don't.
damn
Please
camera.
don't. I haven't talked to you guys. I haven't heard your beautiful voices in over a month. Please don't do that to me.
what, you
By the
right.
way, I can't see your stream from the
Hey,
Discord.
He
Hikari?
hasn't put it up
Paul?
yet.
Oh,
We got
that's
this.
right. That's right. That's right. 4K capture. Okay, is everyone able to see this?
Okay,
There we go. We're so.
I'm in. Thank you.
Yep, we're in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right, cool. I think that handles everything. Oh, sound check real quick, although it sounded pretty good. My levels are looking pretty good. Echo, if you would, please.
Hello, it is me.
Yep.
I am
Hello,
saying
Bruce?
words.
I am not part of this trial.
I know, but I still like hearing your voice anyway. I miss you, BB. Emmy?
Yes, hello, it is me.
Yep, still sound as gay as I remember. Hedge?
Yeah!
I am here and saying words.
Yep. Paul?
I am here.
Red Muffler?
They call me the drink, yeah?
Please don't tell me you also saw the Future Trunks drink video.
Of fucking course I have!
Oh my
Hello?
god, no! We will discuss that later. We will discuss that later. I am
They
not...
call him the drink, a lawyer of sorts.
Oh my gosh. Steelhelm.
And I'm here. Hello,
And-
hello.
And Silva.
Mic test 1, 2. This is a test the school broadcast system.
Okay, it does sound... I was worried it sounded a little spotty at first, but I think it's consistent. Color, did you already inform which volunteer roles they were going to have tonight?
Yes, you will be taking the part of Drew Measham, but also there is a single line, I believe, for the bailiff.
Okay.
I believe
And
that's right.
That's correct. All right, cool. And that is also going to be yours, just for this stream and this stream only.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
got it.
So, so very beginning is when I am part of the scene, but I'm not the first to speak. And then at the start of this part, when you say this part, is that right after this opening cutscene? In what you DM'd me, Color. Are you checking and that's why you're not responding yet?
Sorry, I was talking, and I was muted. The opening parts are, it says the opening cutscene lines, and then it's the ending narration.
The ending narration, so like the ending to this stream part.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So very beginning and very ending is when I need to be aware of Phoenix lines.
Correct.
Okay. Sounds good. Any questions before we begin? All right. Then I just have one request. Please pardon any voice weakness I have tonight, especially on louder lines. I'm still not 100% recovered because yesterday was a triple booked day where all three of the sessions were vocally stressful back to back to back. So I am getting there, but I'm not 100% there. So thank you for bearing with me if I'm not as good of a protagonist as I try to be, but I'm going to not expect perfection of myself. Anyway,
Oh,
go ahead.
I will also be sending out unmarked lines to people. If you've gotten it, it will be done soon for the last person. Thank
Yes, and then make sure Card Red gets their points back as well. All right.
Got it, boss.
Here we go. Episode 4, final trial, part 2, part 3. I forget, but I know we're going back to the past, baby. Let's go.
Showdown time. long.
It's only a game of poker.
Game I've played for a long time, and only lost
Is that-
twice.
Who was the first?
The man I killed, of course. Well, it seems I found the partner I've been looking for all along.
Over a game of cards?
Why, yes. Over a game of cards.
Boot them up. Sorry, they said whoever it was. No! Ah! Sorry, I thought it wasn't going to progress after that. Silver, I will boost them up to 200, and there we go. 7 years ago. 7 years earlier, Phoenix Wright's final trial. April 19th, 9:27 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Whew. Okay. It's been a long time since I felt like such a rookie. Gotta try and relax. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Whoo! Oh! Good morning, Mr. Enigmar.
I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly.
I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared.
I understand I am asking the impossible of you.
Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards.
And that was enough.
Actually, it wasn't. Trust me.
Oh, morning, Daddy.
Oh, I'm so glad you came.
I am also trying to fix the channel points real quick. Sorry. Everyone pointing out the things I'm doing wrong! There we go. It's fixed. Okay.
You okay, Daddy? Are they picking on you?
I am fine, as always. This old boy is here to help me, after all.
That's young man to you. Good morning. Oh, that's a cute outfit you have on.
Thanks. My first show's today, after all.
Oh, I'm sure it is. What the heck is she talking about?
Oh, old boy.
Huh? Me? Oh, what he started.
Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
What's this? A memo for you or some such?
Not from the looks of it. What is this? It looks like a page from someone's diary. I'll give it a read later.
Well, how do you feel about the trial today?
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Busy watching stuff. Oh!
Oh,
Hey.
okay.
They killed Santa Claus? Oh, this is a problem. Oh, he got that Mountain Dew Baja Blast going straight into his veins. He might actually make a full recovery. Cause of death, single gunshot. Loss of blood from bullet wound. Malignant tumor found in victim's liver. Okay. Seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. Okay, it doesn't have an acrostic if I go down. IATF. Nope. To all those who've supported me in my life's work, I give thanks, farewell. Okay. Maybe you're supposed to fold it in like a specific way. Seems fate. Nope, I can't see that. I can't check that yet. Okay, cool. We'll get through it. Somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear.
Ha! An easy win then, yes?
They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office, which is ironic because most lawyers are called inbreds. Of course, there's one of those every year.
This switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it is a difficult situation I put you in. But allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright.
Yes?
They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So, do your best, but do not worry.
First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can.
I see you do not understand.
There's a lot of things about my job I don't understand. That's never stopped me.
You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict.
Impossible?
Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy?
Yep, you bet, Daddy.
My first look at the case was only yesterday, and the information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake.
I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I am in your capable hands, Mr. Wright.
My client is Shady Enigmar. Shadi, known to the world as Zach Gramarye. A wildly popular magician, star of troupe Gramarye. Gramarye. His mentor, Magnifi Gramarye, was a rare breed of magician, and I'm probably saying every single one of these names wrong. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic, until he was shot dead. And Zach Gramarye is the suspect. Also, a reminder to the artists, we do have Megastar fan art. If you decide to draw any fan art during the stream, during the halfway point and during the end of the stream, we will share them live on stream and credit you. Oh, Ackle, you sounded like you wanted to say something?
No.
Okay.
I actually just got done sipping.
Oh, nice.
I do have something to say. It is Gramarye according to Phoenix Wright game stuff.
Thank you.
It is, yeah, it is a real Old English word that was reused for their name.
Cool.
So it is pronounced Gramarye.
All right.
No. It's in the actual pronunciation in real life. It's pronounced Gramarye, but Phoenix Wright specifically states it as Gramarye.
Okay.
Oh.
April 19th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 7.
Court is now in session for the trial of Shadi Enigma.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh, never mind. I'm not ready.
Is the prosecution re-
I was just thinking, is this what all the fuss is about, yeah? Bit of a buzzkill, really.
But buzzkill is that some new kind of crime? Do I need to get my gun ready?
One of the worst. This is a trial, yeah? Where are the sweaty palms, the pounding hearts?
Why does his chest have Wario's mustache on it?
Geweiner's concerts got 10 times the thrill this gig's got.
Who were you again?
Ah, Clavier Gavi. I came to get the party started. Legally, yeah.
Gavin? Defense attorney Christoph Gavin's,
Figures my bro's more famous in this part of town.
Clavier Gavin, lead singer for the mega hit band The Geweiners. You're out of your league, rock boy.
I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy.
Nani?
True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to me compared to this, yeah?
Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock accent, by the way.
I'm just getting warmed up, Air Attorney Wright.
Perhaps you would be so kind as to fill us in on the case?
Yeah, fill me in, please.
Achtung, baby! Time to call on the opening act, yeah? What was his name again? Yes. Detective Gumshoe. Hit it!
Oh yeah! Let's go!
Let's fucking go!
Best episode already.
And you are?
Hey, you were the one who called me up here, sir. Name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct.
Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see.
Hey, you!
Huh? Me?
Today's the day, pal. Today, I win and you lose. Huh! I got confidence in my testimony today, see?
What? You normally lack confidence in your testimony?
El Detective, this is my stage. Can the antics?
Oh?
All this hey you-ing and such. And I could care less about your history together.
Aw.
Very well, Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand.
It happened 6 days back, in a room at the General Hospital. The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient, asleep in his hospital bed.
I like that they made sure to account for if he had already horcruxed his soul into a nearby vessel by shooting both him and the clown. That's smart. That's double tapping right there.
The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam! Lights out. Them's the facts.
Not so long ago, the victim, magnifying glass eye, was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were.
Ah, yes. The great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnifi to one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare.
Yes. Though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Gramarye has made quite a name for themselves.
Anyhow, the retired Magnifi's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A mall-ignorant tutor.
Oh my god, Steel, your mispronunciations became canon. I love this.
I can't believe I called it. Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah.
Now it's more of a deader, I guess.
A malignant tumor, perhaps?
In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact.
The facts do seem simple enough. But something's not right.
The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock, knock, knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him?
I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die?
Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes.
Diabetes?
In fact, he was about to shoot up
Was
with
the
some insulin.
Was the victim's real name Norman Reedus by any chance?
The clown is the funky fetus, I suppose.
When he was shot with a pistol, the syringe was found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and canker.
How fitting. The man with the Baja got blasted.
As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life.
I believe the question before us is clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had?
Thank you for the raid, Crash Star.
Very well, Detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us as to the circumstances of the shooting.
Yes, sir.
Maybe he was helping. He was like, oh, fuck cancer, and he decided to kill the cancer. The circumstances.
Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do it to him. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering, see what I'm doing with my fingers? It's under the table. Ordering the victim. The defendant did what was asked of him. Shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene. No doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir. I like talking in definitives.
What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting?
That's right. If you go on Door Blast right now, you can order your own shooting. You can either have them meet you at your door or just fire from outside the door for a no contact shooting.
You can also pick it up at one of our local booths.
If it's no contact, they'll just tell you which window to stand in front of. For reasons that may or may not be obvious, we request that you leave a tip before the delivery is completed.
For the FBI agent listening, this is all in jest.
Those are the facts. I have the letter in question here.
God damn it, they went to the wrong address again, and now I have to go in for questioning.
God damn it.
Very unusual indeed. Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger, I wonder?
I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter.
I can't read. Tell it to me. Wait. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why.
Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say
I was going to... You motherfucker!
I'm sorry.
You need to stop sharing the brain cell with
I'm sorry.
Gumshoe. The fuck?
Good question, Your Honor. Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir.
One thing bothers me about this. I'm so sorry I stole your joke, Ackle.
No, it's funny.
Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason?
The devil is in the details, Herr Forehead. Herr Attorney. Fuck! It's burned into my brain!
Skyrim dialogue comes up. You've unthreaded the thread of time. You can continue your save file, but you will not get to the ending. Do you want to start from a previous save point?
Wait, the time vortex. No, it's too early for. Ah!
Is someone cutscene skipping?
I like the idea.
Anyway.
I like the idea that he goes, "Oh fuck no!" and he raises his hands up and just fades out of existence, and his voice echoes as he disappears. And the judge just goes, "Well, I'm calling a recess."
As it turns out, there was every night for a half hour starting at 11. The victim, Magnifi Grammary, was given an IV.
An IV?
There it is in the picture, off to the side of the bed.
At 11, a doctor would come up to set the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag.
Oh, I hate seeing that needle.
This happened every night, without fail.
So that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption. During his IV.
Very well. Shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would.
What's this reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? Well, he could have at least mentioned it to me. Ba-ba-ba. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it.
Oh, I disagree. The victim was indeed shot in the forehead after all, just as he had commanded.
It could be a setup, but let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change.
Thanks, pal.
Fine. I can play it slow as well as play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe.
And this letter was sent by the victim?
There it is! Gotcha! Hooah! Pelvic thrust! I'm winning victory lap for me. You're all mine this time, pal.
Huh?
I had the handwriting checked out, of course, and it's the victim's. No mistake.
Oh, I see. You really put the analysis underpants on today, huh?
All the way up to my waistline. Ha! Score one for the boys! High five. Someone give me a high five. Come on.
You got
Yeah!
I didn't lose. I was just ascertaining the facts. So why am I so annoyed?
But a letter ordering your own death. Things aren't what they used to be, I guess.
I had to walk 20 feet in the snow to get my death. I'm not sure this is exactly commonplace even now, Your Honor.
Oh no, I'm not even here anymore.
So anyway, I guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead.
How can you be so sure?
Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking.
You failed to grasp the concept. What? No, go ahead, finish your thought.
No, I'm done.
Finish your thought so I can finish mine. Go ahead. You failed.
I lost it. Go ahead.
You failed to grasp the concept of questioning, Detective.
First, we got this letter. It says, shoot, ellipses, in the forehead. Loud and clear.
I can see that. But I still wouldn't do it.
Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal. Get yourself a piece.
Here, take this self-help book I got written by Dick Cheney.
He and I got a lot in common.
You failed to
take
grasp...
this shotgun. I got a spare, by the way.
You failed to grasp the concept of shooting people is bad, Detective.
Not for the police. We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene.
Traces of gunpowder residue shows that it had been fired recently.
You don't even need a scope with that thing. You could stand at the opposite side of the room and the muzzle would still be touching their face.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm kind of corpsing right now. Anyway, as far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim.
A photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use. So they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Enigmar... Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me.
Yes?
What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes.
Bingo, pal. That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead.
Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make.
What? And can you prove that with this photo?
I can prove he had a choice, yes?
The defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Let's see what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, then where did the defendant shoot?
As you can clearly see, he shot this computer. You can see where the blood is starting to come out of the bullet hole wound. Right there.
Yeah, the computer blood.
That's right. He also shot 2 more times down here, and then once right here. That was a very specific shot so that the book binding would come loose so that he could tear the page out. Let's see, anywhere else that he happened to shoot? Using his incredible skills, he shot the zipper multiple times so that it would unzip. He hit it specifically in the direction so that it would unzip. Let's see, anywhere else he might have shot. No, I think that covers everything. Clearly, he's got Greedo's gun right underneath here. He was going to shoot first. He's a classic Star Wars fan, as you can tell. Very much disagreed with George Lucas's original vision. Oh, and then I guess over here, this was like a children's play toy or something like that. Let me just... right there.
The clown doll?
Take a closer look. See? It's been shot in the forehead, too.
Ah! There's a hole in its forehead.
Yeah, guys, I'll prove it. Here, let me shoot my laptop. Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim. That's not the only hole I want to get filled by the end of today. What? Too far?
Calm down there. I am a child. And I suppose you have a reason as to why he'd shoot the clown doll.
Is there a reason why you wouldn't shoot a clown doll?
You're right, actually.
He's got a point, you know.
He didn't just shoot the doll. He shot the doll's forehead.
His forehead. Yeah.
You like that word, don't you, Squidward? Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot 1 shot square in the forehead. Which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead.
The defense has raised an intriguing possibility.
What does the profile say? Hold on. Oh, he is 17. Oh, shit. Never mind.
That's how Phoenix Wright lost his license.
Never
Doing a good
mind.
job. We figured it out. Applause.
Never mind. I was talking about Gumshoe. 32-year-old Gumshoe. Victim in this case died after being shot in the head while in the hospital. That does usually lead to death. Yes. Okay.
Man, did not make it to 69.
That hole in the clown's forehead. It definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter.
I admit, I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim.
Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead, as ordered. But the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life.
The bullet hole in the clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue. Yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim.
So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall.
How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole is going.
You know what? I'm not even gonna blame you for that one. That was all in the script. Anyway, Gumshoe. Please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony.
So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal.
So let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim, but not the sheriff?
Hey, not a bad summary, pal.
More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever.
That was really more of a confirmation than a summary. But our defense attorney seems pleased enough with himself.
At least I seem pleased enough with myself. Do these people ever miss a chance to mock me?
No. Well, now that Mr. Wright's gotten that out of his system, shall we continue with the testimony?
I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. To you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05. I will ready a gun with which you will shoot one shot square in the forehead. Okay. Did we look at these already? You mean this pistol? The one in the crime scene photo?
That's the one. It's a funny-looking gun, so there's no mistaking it.
We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with a bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match.
So, you verified the murder weapon, in other words.
You bet we did.
Why are you so certain?
Well, a pile of sand has been in your head, stuck this whole time within you.
You
pal?
good? You good there, Gumshoe?
I haven't had my cup of noodles yet today. You never heard of Zack and Valance quick draw shoot 'em?
Huh? Well, what's that?
One of the defendant's specialties. Zack and Valance stand on either side of a gun. Then they shoot. But the bullets don't hit her.
That's just called being a terrible shot, Gumshoe.
Instead, they hit everything else on stage.
I stand by my case.
This is one of the pistols that they use in the show. Got a great design, huh? The kids love it.
Oh no!
Many boys and girls joined the police because of that pistol idea.
You're saying if I become a cop, I can fire my gun in every direction? Woohoo! Shot me up! You know, that would explain a lot about the police.
My man's got the ESP. Let's go.
The ESP. This is specific to Phoenix, man. Every fucking time. Every time. You know, that would explain a lot about the police force.
Troop Greymare stopped doing that act a while ago. Old man held on to that pistol ever since.
The court would like to see the pistol in question.
Yeah, just take a real good look down the barrel, Judge.
Give me the gun. I want.
Hey, you got it, sir. Here she is.
Ooh, let's see here. Well, this is truly a blast from the past.
It's a stage pistol for magic shows, see? But it can fire real bullets.
Says property of Alec Baldwin.
It looks so much bigger in real life than on TV.
Yeah, but it can only hold one round. By the way, the pistol's firing chamber is empty. And it shows traces of having been fired recently.
So,
Persona!
were any fingerprints found on the gun?
Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that a lack of fingerprints is, in fact, a fingerprint of its own.
Aha! Intriguing point, well made. I definitely put
Whoa,
gloves before handling this
Not
weapon.
well made, not intriguing!
In any case, the court accepts this into evidence. Let me just rub on it a couple more times. There we go. Nice. Ah, my grandchild would get a kick out of seeing this. Ah, but now it's time to return to our testimony.
did I do this one already? Yes, we did this one. Okay. Okay, well, I'm glad I checked that because I might actually have to present. Oh, but he also mentions the letter. So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim. Fires one real bullet. Barrel marks match bullet found in victim. No fingerprints found. Oh, either one of these could be it. Because sure, it fires one. Because, like, even if I present it, it's like, well, what's stopping him from just loading a second bullet? Sure, it only fires one at a time, but he can just load it again and fire it a second time. Oh.
The think muscles, they are flexing.
Okay. Because of the fact that pressing on the statement provided new evidence, I'm going to lean on saying that the gun is more relevant. I will ready a gun with which you will shoot one shot square in the forehead. Okay. And this new statement was added to the testimony. So, it's either one of these. It's one of these two. So I'm just going to go with whatever the most recent piece of evidence was. Objection! Music stopped. The trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand?
Yeah, but just like I said, pal, after he shot the clown in the forehead, he went and
did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not.
The murder weapon? How?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds one bullet at a time. This is not undoing the theory that they could just bring more than one bullet.
oh,
If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim too. You know, unless he brought a second bullet and loaded it in the gun, which you do when you want to fire a gun more than once.
Phoenix, honey, I think you might be...
That's not a contradiction. Not even close.
Thank you!
All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot.
Oh, good observation, Clavier. That good idea.
And
that
where
you
did he get the
absolutely came
extra
up with.
bullet, Clavier? Did he go to a bullet store where they sell bullets and buy another bullet? Is that what you're saying? You think you can just go on to Amazon.com and order a bullet sent straight to your address?
We live in America!
America? What part of you thinks America likes bullets?
A lot of it! I live in the South!
They're not very easy to come by here in America, so if you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove to us how in America, of all places, he got a second bullet.
do we live in Japan?
You're like, Clavier's like, you don't understand, Phoenix. I'm gay. I'm not allowed in bullet stores.
Oh, I had the feeling this wasn't over yet. No, these parties just getting started. And I haven't proven anything yet beyond my good looks and startling record sales.
And utter lack of humility.
What's this? It seems the prosecution has another witness prepared.
Oh, they have a second bullet? I mean, witness?
Like I said, El Detective, that was just the warm-up act.
Aww.
Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready.
Ready for what?
for my decisive witness, of course. A witness who you'll find can prove one thing for us. That it was Zach Gramery who shot the victim in the forehead. That's my safe word. Forehead.
Very well. We will pause for a 15-minute recess.
This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client. Zach Efron. And then the other guy. But Zach Efron first. I heard he's in town, and man, does that guy have moves.
Court is adjourned.
Mr. Efron! Don't go! I assume we're just continuing straight on.
I would assume, but that's a
Correct. We are still continuing on.
April 19th, 11:21 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. So there I was. Well, Zach, so there I was. And as I got his autograph, he told me, don't forget, Mr. Wright, when you're in the courtroom, when the chips are down, you gotta put your head in the game. He said the line, Zach!
Honestly, you lost me a little, but I'm proud of you, I think. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. I have to say, I expected nothing less.
Oh, we've only just begun. We have a lunch date for next week. I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what happened, actually.
Well, I guess this could be the start of something new. I did not think you would believe me if I told you.
That was good. I like that.
Better that you discovered the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know.
I think we need less thinking and more talking, because that's always gone well for us. That night in the hospital, what really happened?
The way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. You'll scare Trucy.
Speaking of which, where is she?
Who cares? Not me. You have seen the problem yourself. The letter.
The one shot in the forehead one, right?
Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I could not deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death.
Why not?
This is something I will not say. For now, at least.
What's this for now business?
Finish the game to find out! I've done many things in my life. Some well, some poorly. But this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves.
We?
Yeah. You're going to die too.
What?
They'll execute both of us if I go down.
Zach!
You wanted to know about the night of the incident?
Finally. This guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff. I can deal with getting murdered later.
Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. And found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols.
You guys realize you don't have to buy a separate gun every time you want to fire a bullet, right?
What? You're telling me I could put a bullet back into the gun the whole time?
Where do you buy your guns? The Apple Store?
Yes!
You're allowed to use it more than once!
God damn it!
This is not a 10 gun, okay?
Yes, that was the one I had used on stage. And the one that had been used by my partner, Valent.
Disposable gun. It literally, the force of the fire just makes it, like, explode in your hands when you use it. Oh, for the Zach and Valant's quick draw thing.
My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of his breathing. Then I took the pistol into my hand. I cannot deny that my resolve faltered then, for a moment.
You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him?
Recall, there was a reason I could not refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first.
So, there were other requests you couldn't refuse before.
To be honest, I've not always been steadfast, and I fear I've brought pain upon Trucy.
Was Magnifi coercing his disciples somehow? Just what was going on in Troop Grammary?
Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown. That thing fucking scares me. God damn. I took the pistol I'd fired and placed it in my pocket.
In your pocket?
I believe you examine the bullet in the clown's head. You will find it to be different than the one in my mentor. What were those called? Fingerprint...
The rifling marks, sir.
Yes, like the fingerprints of a gun. Well, that is all I have to tell you concerning the case.
Concerning the case? You mean there's something else you can tell me?
You are a fascinating man, Mr. Wright.
Thanks?
Yes, there is something. My mentor. His eyes opened.
What? Magnifi Grammary?
The old devil. He was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway. And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion. Maybe 5, 10 minutes or so.
What did you talk about?
Ah ha ha! Mr. Wright! Did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case.
Zach Grammary. Seems pretty steadfast to me. Or maybe just stubborn.
Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom. Here's the basket.
Once again, I am in your hands!
Oh, you're very heavy, but... Right! Let's get back in there. Oh,
let's go!
I told Trucy she was the only one I would do this for! April 19th, 11:37 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 7.
Wow, holy shit, Phoenix can lift. Good job.
During our recess, I can't believe you lifted that guy. That was fucking awesome. A bullet was found in and dug out of the clown's head.
Well, this is news. And the rifling marks.
There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis. Though they did find that the weapon type matches the murder weapon.
Well, that's not very conclusive, is it?
Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness.
Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? Oh, often to turn out to be far less decisive than you think.
Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production. Being the other half of Troop Grammary's famous duo, Zack and Valant.
Man, these Pokemon entries keep getting weirder and weirder between the two. Valant Grammary. So, we get to meet the great Magnifi's other disciple.
Perhaps we'll start by asking your name and occupation.
Where is our Valant? Hello? Oh, he's throwing his voice 20 miles away. That's why we can't hear him.
Ah, yes, forgive me. Valant Gramarye, magician.
And you're the decisive witness, are you?
Decided to dress like a banana, maybe.
You can prove your fellow student, your partner's guilt.
Fate. The grand illusion, filled with traps and tricks.
Oh, wait! The shooting took place in that hospital after 11 o'clock at night! If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late?
If one were to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes.
Okay. I always get the characters, don't I?
I have an interesting fact for you. You'll see, several days before the crime, my witness received this.
Ah! An updated autopsy report! Oh. It's just a letter. Oh, thank God.
That looks very familiar.
Wait. That's the same letter Zach Gramarye received!
Yeah, or perhaps I should say, ta-da!
Order! 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 And what does it say? Surely not the same thing.
Perhaps you should see for yourself.
11:20.
Why, it's practically the same. The court accepts this into evidence. This is most unusual. Exactly what was going on with you folks? What exactly was your troop Gramarye up to?
By which you mean?
I mean the fuck! I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Both of them, no less.
It's just my opinion, Herr Judge. But from these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them.
We walked the magician's path together, and in so doing, shared much of our lives.
Is magician Japanese for Yakuza? Am I missing something?
When people are so close, there is strain. A warping of relations, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand. Oh, and for the record, magician is not Japanese for Yakuza. Thank you very much.
By which you mean you're not going to tell us. Which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse.
Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. The defendant, Zach Gramarye, stands accused. Tell us why.
Oh, I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red roses rise singing hymns to the miracle that is magic.
Fascinating. Though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene.
In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time.
Judge, I'm the lawyer here. It's my job.
Can I see your badge for a second?
As every magician knows, timing is everything.
Yes. And now it's time to get this party fired up!
The night of the crime.
That night, I visited the hospital room at the time Magnifi requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final blow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions. Yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss I gave to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police.
So, you were the one who reported the crime?
Indeed, I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion.
Let's not jump to any conclusions.
Yes, the cross-examination generally comes before the conclusions in this court. But If your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zach Gramarye, is guilty, and I'll get to use that gun.
And if it wasn't Zach Gramarye, then the killer was you, Volant. And no disappearing act will get you out of that. Which, according to the letter, was 11:20 p.m. Post-mortem, as they say.
Indeed. In magic, timing is everything.
Right.
Consider the illusion of teleportation. If I were to appear on stage before my stunt double has left, how would that look? Why, it would reveal the very secrets of my magic.
Now that you've revealed the very secrets of your magic for all of us, let's move on, yeah?
Wait, what?
You went at
never
the
mind.
designated time, and what did you see?
So you're saying maybe he killed the stunt double?
Oh, that's a good point.
They are just as disposable. You have to swap them out after the first use.
Oh, so true. Just like guns.
You walk into the stunt double store, it's like,
Hey, stunt doubles are people too.
I need a 5.5-foot stunt double. Yeah, I'll take the one with the brown hair. And he like picks a guy up off the wall who's like been hanging on the shelf. He's like
by the nape of the neck, like a kitten.
Yeah, he grabs like that extendo hook that they need for like the tall prizes, and literally just grabs him by the back of the shirt collar and goes, here you go.
He's a foxy one. Take good care of him.
Anyway, it's $50 if you keep his name of Brent. If you pay $75, you can name him whatever you want. Helps with the paperwork later. So you weren't worried for your own safety at all? I mean, you smelled gunpowder, yes? What if the shooter was still nearby?
I did not consider this, to be honest.
He's like, hey, you want to buy a single bullet with your purchase today? Get half off? It's a combo deal.
It is forbidden for a magician to have a good imagination.
Really? Isn't magic all about illusions and imagination? How about this? You were the shooter, which is why you weren't afraid.
Now you are the one imagining. It is forbidden for a lawyer to have a good imagination.
You wouldn't believe how I solve most of my cases, then.
The witness will refrain from pausing so suspiciously before responding. My forbidden imagination is starting to imagine things. It's in my left eye.
Which brings us back to this reason neither of you could refuse.
So it does. And my partner, he did not refuse.
But Magnify wrote the same thing to you. Why could you refuse if Zach couldn't?
Because I have a will of steel, of course. I also do this trick where I bend steel bars, so perhaps steel isn't all so strong.
So which is it?
Mind if I continue?
There were 2 bullet holes at the scene. One in the victim, and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you?
No doubt my partner Zach had said much the same thing.
Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed murder. I better dig around here a bit more and see what I turn up. Mr. Volant, let me ask about something concerning the crime scene. Namely, where exactly was the pistol when you entered the room?
Atop a small bedside table it was. As if to say, here I am, take me into your hand, pull my trigger, shoot him!
The victim clearly wanted to be shot.
But why?
Perhaps he wanted to go out with a bang.
Never make that joke again. That's my joke.
Yet we will never hear the truth from his lips, so all we can do is guess.
Is the location of the pistol all that important?
Without a murder weapon, there would be no murder. It's very important, Your Honor.
Oh, Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony.
Can I do but obey?
But you just said you don't have to obey. Why did you do that? I would think calling the police would come first. Let them shoot him.
Then you know nothing of the relationship between a master and his disciple. If your master says die, you die. Do you understand?
So, you're going to die?
Certainly not. It was but an example. In any case, I wanted to fulfill my obligation. A final courtesy to a great mentor, perhaps. Or perhaps not.
Perhaps I'm totally confused. Maybe I should ask about something else. How many pistols were there when you entered the room?
By which you mean what, precisely?
2 pistols were used in the Zack and Volant quick draw shoot 'em, correct? 1 for each of you.
You are well informed. Yet only one of my old friends sat in the hospital room that night.
What did Zack tell me back in the lobby?
Of course. I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. And found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. I took the pistol I'd fired and placed it in my pocket.
I see no problem with this statement. Only 1 pistol is visible in the photograph of the crime scene, after all.
So you picked up that pistol and fired it?
Indeed I did. Alakazam, alakazing, alakaboom.
Is the number of pistols really so important?
The number of pistols is quite important, Your Honor. Not gonna give you a reason why, it just is.
You right, fam. Please add this detail to the testimony.
What can I do but obey? Only 1 pistol was in the hospital room that night. With it, I shot the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police.
So you informed the police. What did you do then?
What do you suppose I did? Used my magic to levitate my mentor's corpse, perhaps?
Actually, that sounds sick as fuck. That's why I'm asking. Now, can you please answer the question and skip the sarcasm?
After I made my report, I called the doctor, and we returned to the room. While we waited for the police to arrive, we discussed stomach medicine.
We've confirmed this with the doctor. It all checks out. He praised Mr. Velon's knowledge of stomach medicine, in fact.
It is an honor I do not deserve, but I accept.
He does look like a guy who mixes Pepto-Bismol into his coffee. Both of Magnify's students received the same letter. Both admit to having gone to the hospital that night. 2 bullets were fired, and one of them killed Magnify. Time to find the cracks in his testimony. So you took the only pistol there and fired it?
That's correct.
And that pistol was this one, which was left at the crime scene?
Good show. I see you, too, are a magician of sorts.
You're an idiot of sorts. Do you have any idea what you just said?
I see the fire in your eyes as you glare at the witness. So how about heating up this trial a bit? These slow ballads bore me.
I've got a hunch, but maybe that's all it is. Maybe I should ask about something else. In order to shoot a pistol, you need a bullet. Where was the bullet?
I entered the room and took the pistol in my hand. The bullet was already loaded, ready to fire at any time. A magician is always prepared, you see.
Prepared for...
One never knows when a miracle will be called for. A magician always has 7 doves in his pocket and a white rabbit up each sleeve.
Clearly, we're dealing with professionals here.
Is this bullet that was loaded in the pistol really so important?
Everything is important, Your Honor, all the time, 100%.
You got me there. Shit. Get on with it.
Can I do but obey?
Oh, I hate this. I hate when I have multiple things that I can...
The pistol was already loaded. I merely had to pull the trigger.
If the pistol was already loaded, something doesn't make sense. Why weren't the victim's fingerprints on it?
You should know that we of the Troop Gramarye are capable of many things.
How did a gloved
One
man
of these
not leave
being the
fingerprints?
levitation of iron balls, without touching them.
I too am great at touching balls without touching them, but there's no magic involved here. The shooter was just methodical, that's all. He simply wiped everything of his fingerprints.
Can't really do much with fingerprints that weren't there. Maybe I should ask about something else. Okay, out of all 3 of those, the number of pistols was the only one where he, like, hinted harder, where he was like, there's something wrong about this, so my initial thought is it's here. So... Okay. Yeah, plus this is the only one that had a flashback. Aside, when he came in, there were 2 pistols. But he was the first one in, correct? Yes. Hold on. Okay, Zach was the first one to come in, so there would have been 2 pistols. Okay. Picked up that pistol and fired it. Okay.
Alakazam, Alakazing, Alakabu.
Okay.
We could just go in a circle like this for 4 hours.
Only 1 pistol was in the hospital room that night. With it, I shot the clown. Barrel marks match bullet found in victim. Hold on, I'm trying to remember who fired this one. Is this the one that was in his pocket? Or this is the one that was at the crime scene? This has to be the one that was at the crime scene, because that's the one that they picked up. Which means, if this is the pistol that Valant fired, then he had to have shot the victim because the marks match the one. Okay. The gears are turning. I think I've got this. Oh, please, baby, come on. According to the defendant, Zach Gramarye, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on that table.
2?
One of the pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead. Then he left with it in his pocket.
Of course, this is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defendant has some brains in his head.
Well, what about what Mr. Volantis told us? You see, there's something about his testimony that doesn't make sense.
What might that be? I told you, I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown.
That's your story, at least.
Ugh.
But the rifling marks tell a very different story, Mr. Valant. Recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us.
We compared the bullets taken from the victim's skull with a bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match.
Mr. Valant, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead.
Order! 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 Well, this is all rather sudden.
Oh, what have I done?
Prosecutor Gavin?
I owe the court an apology. Sorry.
Sorry for what?
You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. The analysis of their rifling marks only proved the type of gun that fired them.
But that's not what you told us before. You said you'd verified the murder weapon.
He said you verified the murder weapon, which is why I'm apologizing for it now. Quite sincerely, I might add.
That's not how court works, Clavier. Otherwise, the guilty could go, "Oh, I did kill them. I'm sorry," and then you wouldn't be convicted.
It was just a little fucky-wucky. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake
Damn
made
it.
in my youth?
That's right. Germany does have the fucky-wucky clause. God damn it!
Who else but Gavin, you know? Would you really hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth?
Oh, that was just this morning.
I am still young. And I might add, it wasn't really my fault. If the defendant had only admitted he took 1 pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion right now.
Valant Grammary.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were presented to this court as a decisive witness. But you've proven to be more divisive than decisive. See what I did there? Clever wordplay.
Very good, Judge. You'll see in time. The testimony so far has been merely a review of the facts. The proof comes next.
Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin?
When Mr. Valant entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot. As his next testimony will prove, alright? The real fight is about to begin.
Bring it.
Very well. The witness will now testify to the court. Help us determine who shot what, who shot whomstead of.
Who shot whomstumtumdudov?
I arrived... I'm sorry. I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say, 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m., and the one in the room at that time was my partner, not me.
Those times are rather close, you have to admit. You're talking about an alibi established over a matter of minutes.
I've gone by over a matter of minutes before.
To use a 10-minute discrepancy as the basis for your alibi.
Oh, hold on. Okay.
Is easy to explain in this situation, Herr Judge. For example, take our debut hit single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love. Cue to the song, press the play button, and it will play for 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Do it 100 times, the result is the same.
Their debut single was only 2 minutes and 15 seconds long? What a ripoff.
Magic is a world of utmost precision. Hocus pocus requires admirable focus. And in the time of death determined by the doctor there, it is now an incontrovertible truth.
Very well. The prosecution warned us that we're dealing with rather precise times. And we can expect the cross-examination to require the same level of precision.
I promise you will not get that, Your Honor.
I would hope the defense refrains from its customarily broad, sweeping accusations. lest we blur the focus this case so clearly demands.
From what I remember in choir class, a refrain is when you repeat a section of the song. So he's telling me to repeat my broad sweeping accusations. You got it, Clavier!
Point taken. Baseless remarks will result in a penalty.
Lucky for him, I've always been based in my remarks.
Carry on, Mr. Wright.
Carry on. Right.
No, that's what I said.
It! 11:20 p.m. Can you prove that's when you arrived?
Alas, such a feat may be beyond even the great Valant, for there was no one in that room but Magnifi, and he was departed after a fashion.
I have here defendant Zach Gremory's sworn deposition. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. It was 10 minutes before I left the room, and the victim was still alive.
The time indicated by this letter to Zach was 11:05 p.m.
Wait, what? Zach Gramarys, okay, I snuck into his room. It was 10 minutes before I left the room. Okay, Zach was the first one. And he arrived at... It was 10 minutes before I left the room. Is he saying the victim was still alive when he left the room, or that the victim was still alive when he entered the room?
Exactly. Which means the witness could not have entered that room before 11:15. Because his partner was still in the middle of his crime, yeah?
I see someone did their arithmetic homework.
But this doesn't add up!
You see, the defendant himself has corroborated the witness's testimony.
Does that all make sense? That doesn't make sense! But there's no way it's on the first statement! Oh, wait. I currently don't see any problem with that testimony.
If you say so. Let's continue, shall we?
Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth.
You walk in on a murder, and the first thing you do is shoot the clown?
The disciple does what the disciple must. My mentor's request without reason had caused for me a surfeit of sorrow. For what would I, Valant, be now without him? May the soul of Magnifi the Great find greater peace above. This I muttered to myself as I pulled that lonely trigger.
In any case, I believe this is nothing more than what we have already learned. I'm still waiting for one of those right moments, Eriterne.
May I remind you that baseless remarks will earn penalties. Proceed with that in mind.
Yes, Your Honor. What a pain this is turning out to be. Did the doctor say anything concerning the cause of death?
Why, yes. I believe he screamed, "My God! He's been shot in the head!"
Oh, he was wrong. It was the forehead specifically.
It doesn't take a doctor to notice that. Hell, I would have probably screamed the same thing.
Maybe the doctor was a fan of clowns.
And I would have penned the requiem that arose in my soul at that horrid sight.
Whatever happened to a good old-fashioned investigation?
In any case, I believe this is nothing more than what we have already learned. Oh, I'm repeating myself, yeah? I'm waiting for one of those right moments.
Okay, so not all of them give me the chance to press on the statement. Interesting. This might be more hand-holdy than I thought. I don't think I'm stepping out on a limb to say I have some doubts about this. How could the doctor be so precise with the time?
We do only usually get an estimated time of death, true. I'm not sure if I've heard of a verified time of death.
Not true, Your Honor. We can discernibly say that X died on November 15th, at the same time that Grok's AI became something you couldn't opt out of. That is a verifiable time of death for the site.
Magic revels in making the complex appear simple, but reality is the opposite. What appears complex in this case is a simple matter of subtraction.
I see another person has done their arithmetic homework.
This is getting divisive.
The point here is the IV the victim was taking. It's quite visible in the photograph of the scene. Recall what we heard earlier about the victim, Magnifi Gremory's schedule. Every night at 11, Magnifi took an IV drip for 30 minutes.
I can see the IV bag right there, yes.
Now, look a little closer. Follow the tube down from the bag to the end.
No, why are they making me do this? Don't zoom in. Don't zoom in. Okay.
Ah, the needle's been removed. Enhance that needle.
Doubtlessly, it fell out when he was shot.
That would seem to be the case.
When the needle comes out, the IV no longer drips.
You could just measure the remaining IV liquid.
Precisely. The Eve liquid functions, for our purpose, like an hourglass of sorts. This is how the doctor determined the time of death. From the amount remaining in the bag, it was determined that the IV had stopped 10 minutes after administration began.
And so it was, when I, Valant, entered that room. 10 minutes had passed since that horrible crime was committed. And this is proof.
Well, Mr. Wright?
Did that seem important? Gotta go through all of them. I don't see any problem with that testimony.
If you say so. Let's continue, shall we?
Sometimes the most magical thing of all...
Oh, this is so tough.
...is the truth.
You entered that hospital room at 11:20 p.m. The time given by the defendant, Zach Gramery, was 11:05 p.m. You didn't run into him at the hospital that night?
This is why I never perform with amateurs, you see.
Huh?
Picture, if you will, the nighttime hospital. Outside, only the pale light of the moon. If two dressed as we were to meet in such circumstances...
I know, a Pokemon battle. With that kind of costume, it's mandated.
Well, besides that, I dare say that would ruin the mood completely.
Look, I don't know about you, but if I was dying in the hospital of cancer and two people came into my room and whipped out a Squirtle and a Charmander, I would be absolutely fucking delighted. Mood isn't in question here, though.
I believe the witness is saying they didn't meet, yeah?
For what is magic, if not the study of beauty? Us meeting was not only out of the question, it was an impossibility.
For what is magic if not the study of how to make absolutely no sense at all? That said, is there a contradiction in there? I don't see any problem with that testimony. All right.
You got it, fam.
Shit.
Yes, the truth, sometimes the most magical thing of all, is the truth.
An alibi over a matter of minutes. Precise is right. Pressing with impunity will earn me a nice penalty, too. Better focus on one thing. This time of death. Oh, okay. Okay, it literally just handed it to me. It just handed it to me. It just told me the one that matters. And I was about to say, I think this was the only one where I was allowed to say, oh, it's important, without being penalized. So, I thought I was going to have to make a choice, and it literally just spelled it out for me. I hope. Faster, please. Faster, please.
No.
I know this is the same text.
Well,
please go faster.
we're yapping here.
Oh my god!
So just gotta make sure. Gotta keep you in suspense.
Anyway, Pop-Tarts
Yes,
came out with a new
indeed.
seasonal flavor. There's a toasted marshmallow hot cocoa Pop-Tart, and it's really good if you warm it up.
Oh, I'd fuck
Is
with
it
that.
now?
Hey yo.
This is the first I've heard of it.
Ooh.
There is a marshmallow hot cocoa Pop-Tarts, yes. Color, if you don't see it at a supermarket, let me know, and I will go buy a box and mail it to you. I'm dead serious.
That's real
hard,
friendship.
I literally mailed Kate a box of Apple Crisp Nature Valley granola bars because none of her shops had it.
Aww.
Aw, how sweet.
Yeah, there's no
How
punishment for
important
this.
was that?
Well, seeing as how you can't punish me for this, it's very important, yeah.
Valid. You know, it'd be hard to imagine a more precise way to determine the time. Sure, why not? Put that in the... behold the power of math, you Zeta sons of digits!
Math, bitch!
The witness will add this detail to his testimony.
Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth.
Objection, Your Honor. The most magical thing of all is when you have a social engagement plan for the evening, and then about 30 minutes before you're supposed to leave, they message you and say it's been postponed, so you don't have to go anywhere that night.
An argument could be made. The water of life springs not eternal. The remaining IV liquid proves my innocence.
Did you notice the IV yourself by any chance?
When first I entered that room, the stench of gunpowder assailed me. Next, the mark of death upon my mentor's forehead. And then his left arm did I spy, a rose, drooping and wilted. Its thorn, the discarded IV needle.
Knocked from the vein by the force of the shot. Luckily for
That is,
you.
if it's been taped to your arm and it's in your skin, a gunshot to the forehead is not going to knock a syringe loose.
If that IV had not been there, why, you might be a suspect.
Indubitably so. I might say it's thanks to my lucky color.
Your lucky color?
Indeed. Even today I wear it proudly upon my suspect self. For it always, without fail, brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valant won their first Magician's Grand Prix, yes, the very one held by the Association of International Magicians, I was adorned in this attire then too, and our trophy, a bust. Ah, what a day that was.
This is one trip down memory lane no one needs.
My lucky color, yes, indeed. And that IV, too. I say, I think 'twas hewed especially for me, Valant.
That does seem to be the case indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, any thoughts on this testimony?
Blanc sure looks happy with himself. Okay, how about this lucky color testimony? Thank God for the history check. Your lucky color, I wear it proudly on my suspect self, so it's yellow. My lucky color, yes indeed. And that IV... Wait. What? Wait. Huh? I must be stupid. Because obviously the new statement is the one that has a problem with it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have added it. Is this game telling me to charge it on saying the IV bag is not the same color as your lucky color? It certainly sounds like your lucky colors brought you plenty of luck, but not this time. Mr. Valant, your lucky colors betrayed you.
I'm afraid you've lost me.
Your Honor, the witness's testimony just now clearly contradicts the evidence. This is so dumb. There's no fucking way.
Please recall my warning at the beginning of this cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Baseless accusations will be duly penalized.
This is literally the most baseless claim that I could make out of all of these statements I could have pressed.
No, don't be... Just roll with it. I do hope this latest accusation is well-based.
Don't worry. I've got all your bases right here. They all belong to me.
Very well. Let's hear the defense's claim. Where is your evidence that contradicts what Mr. Vallant says?
There's no way. There's no way. The crime scene tells all, Your Honor.
The photo of the crime scene?
All this talk of color has me yearning for black and white, clear-cut simplicity.
Finally, someone who has good taste in Pokemon games.
Tell us, Herr Wright, just where is the contradiction in this photo?
My pleasure. And I assure you, it's quite simple. I can't promise anything in black and white. You'll have to wait for the sequel.
Well, let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What in this photo contradicts the witness's testimony?
There's no way. There's no way it's... I mean, okay, if it is this, then I understand why the game would have to spell it out for me. But out of everything that's been said, after literally the last 15-20 minutes of testimony and being precise on the time, may I remind you that the autopsy report literally says estimated time of death between 11:10 and 11:30, meaning we don't even have... We could argue on the preciseness of the timing on that front. For all of that to happen, and then it to be about the fucking color of the IV bag, I'm gonna scream. Blunt Grammary. Let's get one thing straight about your lucky color. It's yellow, right?
Kind of takes the mystery out of it, but yes.
Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Wright?
I'm gonna scream. Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. Take a look at this photograph.
What's this?
I'm gonna scream!
Confusion. Doubt. Tell us, what do your elderly eyes spy?
Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Vallant. Just look at that 4-bag! Everything all right, Mr. Wright? Are you okay?
What? What is this? What foul magic?
It would be hard to call the IV liquid yellow. And I'm afraid no magic was involved in the taking of this photograph.
Alaka, no!
Did you bring all of those live animals into this courtroom?
Yes, I did.
Holy shit! Order! Bailiff! Shoot him!
And then...
The animals saved them! No! This is some kind of mistake!
No, we can afford to lose the frames! This isn't a speed run!
Prosecutor Gavin, your witnesses, miss, he fucked up.
The greener they are, the harder they fall. What the fuck is this testimony right now? I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Vallant Grammary, as you reminded us several times, your lucky color is yellow, but the IV is clearly not.
Well,
What does the IV bag color have to do with the authenticity of the time of death? I'm not following this right now. This contradiction can only mean one thing. You're guilty. Case closed. Forget everything about the gun, about the bullets, about the time of death. Clearly not knowing the difference between colors means that you're guilty. That's just how it is.
And to think, you almost had me.
Huh?
I see your true colors now. Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright.
Hey, you capitalize those words, motherfucker.
Fuck off.
Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin?
Yeah, why'd you capitalize his words?
As far as this court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence.
Yes, a contradiction. One that I shall be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright.
How do you mean?
How? Because the witness has made no mistakes. I agree, at a glance, the IV liquid does appear a sort of greenish yellow. But I assure you, the liquid itself is quite yellow.
Yellow liquid? How can you say that?
Oh my
As
god.
far as I can tell from the photo, it's green.
Spent over 200 lines of dialogue on this already.
Yes, but what color is the IV bag itself?
The bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook?
It looks like a... I want to say... light
We
blue.
have spent so many lines of dialogue on this.
Precisely. Figured it out yet? Put a yellow liquid in a blue bag and...
You get green. My god.
This incidentally, is the liquid's true color.
Ah, I see. Your explanation does have the ring of truth to it. Objection! Why are we talking about this again?
I'm a lawyer. I'm not expected to know colors. There's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin.
How do you not know your own mods?
You may tell a good tale, but you've just proven something rather grave. For you, that is.
Grave?
Obviously, it was blue and black, not white and gold. The liquid in the IV is yellow, yes. But how did this witness know that? What do you mean, how did he know it? If the IV bag is... If the IV bag is blue, and you can see that it's green, logic dictates your brain would go, oh, the liquid in the bag must be yellow! Quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about it, didn't you? Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation from the witness. At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask, how did the witness know the IV liquid was actually yellow? Am I dumb? Did we not just discuss color theory? Right? Like, I'm not stupid here, right?
You
know that infamous court case thing, the transcript where it's like, the guy's like, so the man was declared dead, but is it possible he could still be alive? And the guy goes, yes, it's possible that he was alive and practicing law somewhere or something like that. Like that infamous one. This feels like that. We literally just proved how you would know that it's actually yellow, and now asking...
Lucas! Fuck! Ah! Get back here!
I said to duck hunt those animals. They're shitting all over the place. Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once.
Oh, some of it landed on his cheeks. That's kind of nasty.
Ooh, it's kinda, The witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid, and there's no way to properly explain that, so I'm sure that means something, but what?
I'm waiting for this game to explain to me this hint that I missed. Like, did Zach or did Volant say it was green and we're proving it was like... I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, Volant Grammary, has testified that the IV liquid was yellow because... What is happening right now?
I don't know if y'all could hear, but I'm pretty sure I heard the gears grind to a halt in his head.
Your head looks like my mentor's right now.
What is happening right now?
sonicmega.exe has stopped working. Would you like to send a report?
He has testified that because he knew... Okay, he would have said... Okay, all right. From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Wait, what? But but option number 2 was that he'd seen it before. Hold on. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. Hold the fucking phone. Hold on. It's right there. It's right there. What is happening? But not inside the blue bag we see in the photo. What?
Uh-huh.
What? What? When did this come into the equation? When was this ever part of the testimony? What?
Just smash cut, like just edit Manfred von Karma's sprite of him pounding the wall with his head and just replace it with Phoenix. Right
What
now.
is? First of all, how am I getting these correct? Secondly, what?
I suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear as to what this all means.
I'm sure they did change writers. So writer 1 went on his lunch break. Writer 2 came in and they said, all right, so for us to understand this case, the player needs to know that the IV bag is blue. I want you to make that clear. And the writer goes, will do, boss. And then he made the IV bag clear. Ask yourself, why would he know? If he didn't work at a hospital? What does this have to do with color theory? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor.
What the fuck are you talking about, Jesse? Leave the getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, yeah?
Don't ever call them teeny boppers again. The IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death, which is why we're talking about the color. A 30-minute hourglass with 20 minutes worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin.
I remember it well, like it was only yesterday.
However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag.
Whoa, wait! I know. An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid. I'm right? What do I get?
No, IV bags use sand. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Oh.
As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no. Unlike the sands through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body. At which point, like magic, it did. Wait! Now we're discussing how much IV was in the bag. Or how much liquid was in the bag, which has nothing to do with the color of the bag, has nothing to do with the color of the liquid. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased?
I'm just sitting here.
We didn't
like
even
Phoenix
discuss.
Phoenix is in that.
At no point was it discussed how much of the bag is supposed to be used. Maybe one bag of IV is 2 servings, and then they take it out, and then they use the second one in the morning. We never discussed how much of the IV is used during the bag. Wait, actually, hold on. It says right there, after all, there's no way of knowing how much went in. So, Phoenix, you just contradicted your own fucking statement. You don't know how much would go into the patient's body. So,
Okay, let me get this straight, right. You're saying the witness watered down the victim's IV bag?
No! How would you put liquid back into the bag? It only goes one direction! It's a sealed bag! Not with water, but with IV liquid. What did you do? Did you put your mouth around the syringe and go...
That's disgusting!
That's how you knew the IV liquid was yellow.
Now wait, I said wait! How might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task?
I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup.
I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quite!
Yeah, I know. You can pour water into a cup. You can't pour water into an IV bag.
Can you prove our witness is capable of such a feat?
I feel like everybody started having a stroke 20 minutes ago, but he has a point anyway. At least, I would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid into that bag from a cup.
No, he put the IV bag directly onto the entry wound on Zach, then put his mouth on Zachary's mouth and went. You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. What the fuck is happening? He added liquid to that. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. How? He added liquid to that IV to throw off the time of death. I'm so not following any of this right now. I'm so confused.
I tire of these fairy tales lacking evidence.
Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth and stop this fucking circus?
Volant Grammary, I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in a life of crime.
Might I ask what you are strongly suggesting?
Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness was certainly able to increase the amount of Ivy League. How, Phoenix? Explain this to me. All he had to do was work a little magic, and the prop was... How? There's no way. I have to be wrong. I have to be wrong.
The victim.
Shut up! Stop! It's the perfect prop. What? Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm gonna fucking lose it! And easy enough for an amateur to use.
What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean, not a trace of liquid on it.
And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? That he was somehow able to put liquid in a sealed bag?
What?
The victim had the syringe to administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside. Well, Volant Grammary, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes the perfect clock. One that you could... How, Phoenix? Can't even... You have to... In voice acting, famously, you are told that in order to convince the audience, you must first convince yourself. If you don't believe what you're saying, you cannot possibly hope to make the audience believe what you're saying. And what I'm saying is I don't believe a single bit of this right now!
You know, at this point, I'm just gonna let him run. I do believe, well, with this being his first, that the burden of the trial has been too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It is Prosecutor Gavin who is overwhelming right now.
Welcome to a Phoenix Wright case, Gavin. I'm afraid that, well, while there is a doubt to the amount of IV liquid in that bag, that became important because the color was important, but now it wasn't, but now we have to determine that the time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial for a close to today.
Well, maybe I can squeeze an extra day out of this. Can do a little much-needed investigation work. It's a treat.
I see there are no objections. Court is...
Dear God, no.
Truly, there's no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively.
Okay, but Giga, that would make sense if the Ivy bag had been mentioned and, like, if there was something cluing us in, like, oh, there appears to be a small hole at the top. Like, something that is not immediately obvious why it would be there, but leads us to that thing. Ace Attorney is generally really good at saying, here's the information that we know, and so you need to make an assertion based on the facts given to you. To make the claim that he filled the IV bag with the syringe, it is baseless because there is no given information that suggests that the IV bag might have been tampered with. We don't talk about there being a hole, we talk about the color. We talk about there being a clear IV bag for some reason that had never been brought up previously. So, to make the leap and say, oh, he could have filled the IV bag with the syringe. Like, there's nothing presented in the testimony or any of the information that was given that could logically lead us to go, oh, that's what happened. The given information we have is that we know Volant knows a lot about stomach medicine. About medicine as well. He said so much earlier in the case. Okay, so he knows about medicine. We don't.
A word to the wise. Underestimate the young, and they'll sweep your feet right out from under you. In a way you never ever expected.
The color connection is specifically to make it obvious that Volant had seen the IV. Phoenix had no reason. Okay.
You see, I know exactly what you're thinking.
Please tell me. What's he talking about?
You say the witness used the syringe to manipulate the level of the IV liquid. But there is no proof.
Thank you! Clavier is literally the voice of reason. He is all of us right now going, what the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about? Entertain me.
Yeah, well, there's no proof he didn't do it either. So, my case still stands. God is real.
Yes, quite true.
Huh? He's admitting it.
Nor was this witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This I admit. After all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much?
You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin.
Proof, head judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less.
This had better not have a piece of information that says it looks like the IV bag was tampered with. I swear to God.
What's this?
This is the victim Magnifi Gremory's diary.
Diary?
After going into the hospital, Magnifi began writing his memoirs, it seems. The story of his birth, his startling debut, and of meeting his disciples. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end, quite appropriately, with his death.
Wait, that book doesn't say what the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request?
Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night.
I swear to God, you guys. I swear to God.
Even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we?
If this says anything about it being tampered with.
This does appear to have been written just before his death.
Maybe the last. I leave the rest to them. The first should come soon. This journal may end here or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand.
The court accepts this into evidence.
Read the very last part with particular care. This journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Of course, by his, he refers to our defendant, Zach Gremory.
That would make sense, yes.
Why would that make sense?
It makes sense. He was the first scheduled visitor, after all.
But look at what he said before that. This journal may end here, or it may go on. It may go on. Magnifigramory intended to write again.
My current thought so far is this is how he intended to make it impossible. It's kind of like in Japan's execution system, they will have multiple guards all push their own button, and none of them knows which one is the actual one that kills the prisoner, so that they can't, none of them can assume guilt. So I'm guessing this is a similar thing where he's going, only, like, neither of them will know who actually killed me? That doesn't make sense, because one of them had to shoot him. So maybe they know who killed them, but he was like, you guys will know who killed me, but it doesn't matter, because the court system won't be able to prove it, so neither of you will be charged.
That is, if Zach Gremory didn't pull the trigger. I see the defense understands the meaning of this.
I don't understand a single goddamn thing about this.
The victim's diary does not go on. It ends. Because Magnifi's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zach Gremory.
Order! Order! Prosecutor Gavin! Are you certain that Magnifigramory wrote this?
There is no mistaking his handwriting.
Well, that does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnify did intend to continue his diary. Yet, if his diary ended here, which plainly did,
then the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zach Gremory.
This is the torn out. No, it's not true. Because this page is the one that proves that he's still alive. This is the torn out page.
Well, how do you like me now, Herr Wright? Still too green for your tastes?
He's right about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe that he'd overlook such an obvious problem with this precious evidence.
well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony we heard was lacking, but put together with this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case.
How could the game present something so obvious to point out the contradiction after giving me almost an hour's worth of the bullshit we just dealt with? If the diary's accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to show them something. I'm left with no choice but to show my own evidence. You know, as every court case I've ever done has required of me.
What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary.
It's not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment.
Very well. Please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright.
Incidentally, don't even think of showing us this diary I've just shown the court. Now that we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his
It is
diary.
so hand-holding me right now. All right, I'd be happy to. The decisive evidence proving that the diary didn't end with this page is... First, take a close look at this diary. It's so obvious. Note that a page has clearly been ripped out.
What's this? I hadn't noticed that at all.
That's why we're still here talking about this, goddammit. And it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page.
I don't believe it!
Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifigramory. That's the defense's position.
Wait, let me see that. What in Sam Hill? Why, this is the continuation of the victim's diary.
Note the torn edge of the page. It's a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page in Magnify's diary.
Quite remarkable.
Would you care to explain what all this means, Air Attorney?
It means the IV bag clearly had yellow liquid inside of it. Which means that the victim was still alive after Zach Gramarye left, leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor. Belant Gramarye!
Oh!
The handwriting, too, matches that on the other pages. This is, without a doubt, the genuine article. Order! Order! Order!
Impossible! That old man couldn't have written that!
Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Air Right?
Resist what? Presenting solid evidence?
Herr Judge.
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin.
Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call in new witness.
What?
But Prosecutor Gavin, this evidence overturns the current witnesses.
I ask only to put it on hold. Please. My new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give.
I'm gonna let you all know. I'll let you all know if this is how my testimony goes later this month when I go back to Reno.
5 minutes. No more. I promise, Your Honor.
Well, if you put it that way, Mr. Wright, what's your take on this?
Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm and the fact that if I didn't let him put it on hold, I would end up winning this case and he would be proven guilty and I would have completed my job, I guess we'll have to hear this new testimony sooner or later anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and delay my win. So it might as well be sooner.
Then, though this is highly irregular, we will put the current cross-examination on hold. The witness may step down.
I call in my next witness, the IV bag.
Oh, he's speaking.
Oh, now, Prosecutor Gavin, please bring this surprise witness to the courtroom.
The hell is it? I had a bad feeling just then. That ripped out page was too obvious. He must have known. And I should have known it was a bad sign all around.
Holding trial with no audience is a first, even for me, Prosecutor Gavin.
I beg the court's understanding.
Oh.
But I had to make a judiciary deal with the witness to secure his testimony.
He faked the handwriting. A judiciary deal?
The details of his testimony may have some legal ramifications, shall we say. I thought it best to contain the information to this room.
Very well. And you are the witness, I gather?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I like this voice already.
I like this a lot. Holy shit.
State your name and occupation for the record.
My name's Drew Mission. I'm a painter.
A painter? And you are somehow related to this case?
No, not per se.
I have one simple question for this witness. Mr. Mishim, was it? Do you know what this is?
Oh, yes, I know it well.
How's that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before?
Oh, yes. I mean, I made it.
You... What? You made it?
Yes. You might call it what works.
The prosecutor's office received a tip-off yesterday. Illegal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zach Gremery.
Illegal evidence?
I initiated an investigation and found this witness. A painter to the world at large. Drew Mishim has another side, you might say. He is skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things.
Is that your line?
Forgeries, in other words.
That was a very long pause. Forgeries.
Well, so, are we to understand that this page here is...
A fake. Prepared by a certain defense attorney.
Hold it! I didn't prepare this evidence!
The attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume, but what is he saying? It makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented this evidence to us, Phoenix Wright!
Witness! Mr. Misham, was it? Who requested this forgery? Who was your client?
That... I don't...
What?
Most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous. To me, I make the items they want and receive payment. That's the extent of contact.
Just going forward, I would make sure that your settings in Discord don't have a minimum threshold of voice, because it means whenever your voice drops down below it, it cuts you off, and that's causing your lines to get segmented. So, I assume you'll...
Double checking that real fast.
Yeah, because your performance is really good. I'm really liking this voice. I just don't want you to get cut off because of it. So just make sure noise cancel.
that real quick.
Yeah, make sure noise cancellation is turned off. If it's on detect noise level, make sure that's dragged all the way down to the bottom, so it's effectively always on.
Is it input sensitivity?
Yeah, input sensitivity.
Okay, I turn it down a little bit.
Okay. What? There's no proof this is a fake.
It's a fake.
Huh?
To avoid just this sort of problem,
It's perfect now, thank you.
I always put a special mark on my works. I can say without a doubt, this is mine.
Mr. Wright, you have just presented illegal evidence to this court. My court.
It was careless of me. That's all I can say.
Oh, old boy. Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there, in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
It was all a trap. A fatal trap.
Mr. Wright.
Yes.
Do you have an explanation for yourself?
if I said it was the Germany fucky wucky clause, would the court hear it?
Are you German? No? Didn't think so. Forging evidence is a serious crime. And presenting it in court, a serious mistake. A fatal mistake for an attorney.
I have a right to a trial.
Prosecutors are fine. They can do that all they want.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's part of the job. Fatal too, perhaps for your client, I fear. Tell me, what kind of defendant relies on forged evidence? The answer is quite clear. A guilty one!
Your Honor, wait! I understand that presenting forged evidence in court is a serious crime. But you cannot hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual.
I am sorry, Mr. Wright.
Your Honor.
Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to, yeah? I even gave you a chance. Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself.
I see no need for further discussion on this matter. Special witness dismissed.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes?
could I ask your name?
Phoenix Wright.
Mr. Wright. I have seen and studied many people, but none like you. I'll remember you, Mr. Wright.
Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, this trial is over. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must...
Ah, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Zack.
There is one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty.
Oh, the home safe clause! Yes! I totally forgot about this!
It is impossible.
That's America's laws, bitch!
Bitch, watch me. I'm afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. I most certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you, and I will.
Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict?
If I'm not here...
When your defendant does not exist!
It doesn't exist? What are you talking about?
I am talking about this!
Holy shit!
Mr. Enigmar!
The defendant escaped! Find him! Quick! What the fuck is happening?
If I don't hear it,
Close all exits from the building. Give that man a standing ovation. That was, oh my god. We got front row seats to his show. Oh, I loved it.
If I don't hear the verdict, it's not official! La 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 la!
On to the double. He must not be allowed to escape. I will have my body before the day is through.
That day, in that courtroom, a miracle occurred. The defendant, Shadi Enigmar, aka Zach Gramarye, did not just escape from court. He literally, unbelievably, vanished. Right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again. Not since that day.
This is the Gramarye miracle! Ah, ha, 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 ha.
No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. And everyone knows that even a person isn't there, you can't do anything about it.
I mean, he's right, you know.
What was it? You can't.
That's how it...
controlled out. I'm gone.
That's how it happened. The trial of magician Zach Gramarye vanished, along with him, for all eternity. The mysteries that remained behind were all solved, however. But not until 7 years later. That our halfway point?
Nope, we're
No,
done.
that's
We're
that's
done.
stream.
That's it.
Good
That's
job.
stream.
That was stream?
Good job. You
Whoa,
lost your law
whoa,
license. Good job, my guy.
Whoa,
Good job.
wait. This means that of this entire live dub, the first stream where I made no mistakes was the most unfucking followable stream of the entire game?
Correct.
Why, yeah.
Apollo justice, my guy.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Absolute cinema.
I lost an otherwise perfect stream over a technicality 2 streams ago, but the stream that I am literally floundering my way through, I get a perfect on?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean,
And-
we could keep the stream going after this.
Well, we do have fan art, so we are keeping the stream going just a little longer.
Just a little
What?
longer. My name is Sean Chiplock. I voice Apollo Justice and Phoenix Wright, although we didn't hear from Apollo Justice at all tonight.
Apollo wasn't there at all.
That's right.
He's not here.
That's right.
Apollo
No,
was like
that's
14.
That's why it was perfect. Because I wasn't playing as Apollo.
Oh, okay.
That's why. Anyway, I have no goddamn idea what just happened, so I'm gonna go collect fan art, and the rest of y'all are gonna take proper credit for yourselves.
All right, let's get it started. And I believe Ackle is the foist.
All right. Hello. I am AKL Trifecta, casual VTuber, VTubing casually, drummer, game developer, voice actor, and today the voice of the judge. Man, I forgot how silly this specific case was. Oh my god. Getting to hear Sean's gears turn and then start and then turn again was an absolute treat. It's always an honor to do these live dubs. So much so that they've inspired me to start doing my own live dubs of a couple of indie games. We just actually finished up one a couple of weeks ago. It was really fun. And yeah, thank you for the thank you for the aneurysm, my guy.
All right, Emmy.
Hello, I'm Emmy Ain, or Emmy. I was Tracy Wright, and all I really did was give Phoenix Wright forged evidence. Yippee! I am a freelance artist. I also am a syndicated comic artist, so that's what I primarily do. But sometimes I take part in these fun live dubs, and really enjoy watching Sean suffer. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Next, Hedgie's Corner.
Hi, I'm Hedge of Hedge's Corner. You can call me Josh. I voiced Zach today. Yeah, I have been in the Deltarune live dub previously in 2021, and since then I've been inspired to do a little bit of voice acting here and there. Still hobby work for me, so I haven't I don't have any big roles to claim yet, but I am working. Today I was Zach. It was really fun playing this extravagant character. I have very complex feelings about Zach as a whole, and having to sit with him for 7 months in between episode 1 of the live dub and now has been a really long time. So, I'm excited to see what I can do with him here. Thank you all for having me.
Paul?
All right, that would be me.
I'm Paul Hikari, and I voiced Valant Grammary. I'm mainly a voice actor. You might have heard me as Sheriff Toadster in Garden of Banban, but, well, I also do writing and video editing. And man, it's always nice coming to these live dubs.
All right, so I guess it would be
That'd
my
be
turn at
you,
this
yes.
Yes, hello. I am Red Muffler Man. I was the voice of one Clavier Gavin. I am a voice actor, content creator, general internet funny man, and a dude. You can find me on Blue Sky and Twitch and YouTube, all at Red Muffler Man. I do a lot of streaming. I've said this before and I'll say it again, but I'll keep it brief. These live dubs have always been like a really big part for me. It is part of the reason why I do like the FGO live dub and why I started doing the Great Ace Attorney live dub way back in the day. So being able to be here and just share this stage with everyone and just have such a good time, getting to voice literally my favorite prosecutor in the series is wonderful. And I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy that I just got to share the stage with you all. And I'm excited to do it more. But yeah, that's all from me. Have a good one.
Silva or Silver Argresian?
Yeah, that would be me. Hi, I am Silva, aka Silver Argreon, aka, you probably don't know me, you probably don't know who I am. That's because, I have not been on, I've not been very active in the server, but, I've been hanging out and, well, unlike some of these people, I am not a professional voice actor. I'm just a casual gamer who occasionally streams at twitch.tv/SilverArgreon. And today I got to play Drew Misham and, of course, the MVP, the one-line bailiff. Woo!
Woo!
Anyway, yeah, I'm glad to have been got to finally participate in one of these live dubs for the first time.
You came in swinging, man. Like,
volunteer.
as soon as I heard that voice of Drew, I'm like, oh, I vibe with this. This is very fitting for this character.
Absolutely.
And
you say you're not a professional.
Yeah.
That was
it's
professional delivery.
That is
from
part of what I
Kramer.
appreciated so much about it. Is it was proof positive that character voices don't have to be outlandish or exaggerated to be believable. Because I would say that Drew Mission voice was kind of reserved. You know, it wasn't like you did a very cartoonish voice, but it fit him. It fit him perfectly fine. So thank you for being a prime example of how just making a choice and committing to it, even if it's not an exaggerated choice, can still be a great choice. So,
thank you.
And we will be having you back.
Yeah.
But also,
yes, I will be back. I will be back soon.
who was our Zach Grammary today?
That would be
That
me.
was Hedge. Hedge, not to say that exaggerated can't also be good. I loved the bravado that you gave to Zach. It was different. It was different from how Volant was, where Volant is very robust. You had this kind of, I would almost call it like a fatherly confidence, if that makes sense. And that was really cool to hear from him. So thank you for bringing what you brought as well.
No problem. That was very intentional.
Good. Well, it came through. What were you going to say, Color?
Oh, we're gonna go on to last but not least.
The fan art, which...
No, Steel Helm is right there!
All right, Steel. That's... Listen, we don't need to acknowledge the existence of a god to know that God is there watching after us. So, go ahead, Steel.
Lords, ladies, and gentle ladies, it is I, the one and only Steel Helm, Knight of the Helmpire. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Storyteller,
Oh, man,
story
the myth, the
creator, and
legend.
OC congregator. I do stream sometimes, and I love to make stories and tell stories. And today, I was the voice of When You Least Expect It. It's Dick Gumshoe. And it is always such a delight to be here and play that character especially, but I really miss hanging out with everybody and vibing with everyone. It's always a
I'm
delight.
telling you, man, I need Etrian Odyssey 4 port to get announced so that your character can come to life!
Can I just put in one small thing on how gumshoe he is? You guys don't understand. I reminded him, hey, Live Dub is this week, so make sure you get back into your Gumshoe voice because it's been a while. And so he gets into it, and the first words he says is, I'm gonna make sure that I beat those lawyers, and I'm gonna win this time. And like, you can't win the lawyers. And what's the first line he says in this game? I'm gonna win. You're gonna lose.
This time. That's sweet.
Unbelievable. They're from the very beginning, and what a hell of a casting. Like, you are to Gumshoe what people say I am to Subaru. Through and through, honestly.
As far as I'm aware, this is Gumshoe's last appearance outside of the investigations games as well, right?
Correct. That's the last time you will see Gumshoe. Unfortunately.
No! So that just means we have to...
Such a bummer, huh?
Well, if only the investigations games were available on the Nintendo Switch.
Wait. ...
Coming soon in 2030 when we finally catch up with the rest of these live dubs.
Oh my god.
I don't know. If people just want to do fucking Ace Attorney games for the next 5 years, so be it. But I thought you guys might want to do something different in between. But anyway, that's actually everyone, right?
That is now actually everyone, correct.
I do know it's already, yeah. All right. So all we have to do is the fan art, and then you all will be out of here. But oh my god, you guys. The fan art this time around. It's just bangers after bangers. It's so good. Don't look ahead of time. I promise you it's gonna be worth it if you don't look ahead of time.
Okay.
First up, we have it from Runewolf, who says, with Wicked coming out, bit of an Oz mood, so the Wicked Witch meets our new group of heroes. Apollo Justice, Luxray Lawyer, Kinger as the Scarecrow, Teba the Tin Bird, and of course you made each of the characters based off Wizard of Oz people, and of course our Dorothy, Subaru Natsuki. Even the Wicked Witch won't go because Dorothy is the one who ends up transported to a different world. You brilliant son of a bitch. It didn't hit me until after I had already after I was reading the description, but hold on. So we got to go to documents, into the folder, find the newest one from tonight. Okay. Here we go. Oh, this is so smart. That Luxray is so good. Who reads our Color? Why don't you read our Wicked Witch since you didn't get to perform tonight?
Sure. I'll get you, my pretty. Subaru and your little attractive friends, too. Except for the lawyer. I may be wicked, but not that wicked.
Am I a car?
No, Kinger. You are not a car.
That Luxray, I kind of want to make that Luxray face into a sticker. You know what? I'm going to see if I can. By the way, this is a little bit, don't get ahead of time, but there is, we had 2 sticker slots left. We had 2 sticker slots left for this stream. And this is one of the 2 stickers, but I already have the second stickers completed. Please do. I will. Hold on. Give me like 2 minutes and I will do this right now. And the fact that it's a white background makes this even easier. So we are going to go into Paint 3D. All right. And we are going to delete this image right here. Okay. We are going to zoom in, magic select. Okay, next. Oh wait, I need to go back. I need to shrink it to just the one area that I want. There we go. Now next. There we go. Done. And now we just copy that. We open a new paint session. New. We paste, crop, canvas, transparent. Oh, you made this so easy for me. God bless. Save image. Save it as Lonx3. Yes, Lonx3. There we go. Then we go into server settings. Not server insights, server settings, stickers, upload sticker, and congratulations, we officially have our 30th sticker of the server. Where is he? There he is. Tongue, there we go. And Lonx3, upload. And now that sticker is available for you to use. But don't use it yet. Wait for the end of the stream because you all need to see this second piece made by a Vita 7 that has no comment because none is needed.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Genius.
Art.
Oh boy.
Absolute cinema.
The level.
When I showed up to the hospital, he was like, "You gotta get out. My blast order is coming in 5 minutes."
The level of effort put into this is godlike. I so badly had to keep myself from busting out laughing when I saw this while collecting it. This is amazing. This is beautiful. Thank you for everyone's work. Everyone's work tonight has been freaking incredible. This next one by Richello says, "Not gonna lie, I initially heard it as Gumshoe implying the victim was a clown, and I couldn't get the idea out of my head." Like, the expression work on all of these tonight is phenomenal. Here's our third one. I'm gonna have to shrink this down because it's really big. Okay. There we go.
He may have shot the clown. Doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim. Am I right?
But Richello, in addition to being an amazing artist, is also equally good at making memes, as shown by this next piece.
Yep.
Yes!
That cow, right?
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
Watching you lose a gasket there, that was priceless.
And yet, Evita 7, this is like a duel between artists going, something awoke in Clavier long before he met Apollo. This is also from Evita 7.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Oh
my god.
Why this?
Shot in the forehead, shot in the forehead. The clown was shot in the forehead. Why do I like the word forehead so much? Why does air forehead sound so right?
But Little Miss Minnie giving me an image that I can hear. I can hear the three-way finger snap from Clavier in this. Little Miss Minnie, no comment on this art, but it's fucking beautiful. Look at this. Hold on. So many good expressions on this. You know what? I actually might have to put this Phoenix Wright one as an expression as well.
So good. When you least expect it, it's dick.
Nah, can the antics El Detective? This is my stage.
I can that with his head position, I can see him moving his head left and right, going, you know, like. Science
Also,
Pants.
I love the username.
Science Pants 77. Unbelievable. Hold on. You all are fucking incredible. Hold on. Let me see if I have permission. I would like to I want to make this little Phoenix Wright thing into a piece. Next. Oh, please tell me I can include this piece. Yes. Oh my god, the face is in. Yes. Oh, we've got it. Hold on. Copy. All right, we're gonna open up another session. Oh, we're getting so many good stickers out of these. With permission from people, of course. If you don't want to include it, just let me know and I will delete it just as quickly. Crop. Not magic select. Cancel. Effects canvas. Turn off. Save as. I made it, Mom. I got a sticker. Hell yes. Phoenix Whoa. There we go. I mean, you guys supporting the server is what's letting me do this. We're well past the point where we needed server boosts in order to have access to this. So a huge thank you to everyone that supports the server. I hope you feel like you're getting good use out of it. Here we go. Phoenix Whoa. And then we have Whoa. What do I... what is the face that has... I'm trying to think of what word I would type in of... Is it surprise? Yes, there we go. Phoenix Whoa. Upload, there you go. And the one after this is, I believe, what gave us our final sticker of the evening. Let me double check. Oh, I have to close this and go to everything. No, I added the air forehead. That's right. The one I just showed before from Evita 7. We have one extra one that you can now post in the main chat. This next one is from Marcello, second to last. Oh my god, you guys gave so much good stuff tonight. Here we go. Look at that shit-eating grin. Look at that shit-eating grin.
That was priceless.
Something color. What the hell is happening? Why have we been talking color theory for the last 200 lines? I love how you draw me way more attractive in art than I am in real life. I appreciate the ability to make the fantasy into reality. It's so good. And Miss Minnie, this was like an artist trifecta. It was the three of you at a round table going the entire night. But little Miss Minnie has one final one that says, didn't have time to color it, but here's this. Oh. Wait. Oh, the hat. Yes, here we go. Hold on, you shrink it a little bit more. There we go.
Meanwhile, in the lobby.
Oh, are you? Yeah, that's Gumshoe, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Gumshoe.
Hey, kid, don't be sad. Hey, I know. Look at this real, genuine pistol.
So cool!
I know, right?
That's when you get the sound effect of, boy, you know, like. Oh my god, y'all. Oh, it was so good tonight. Thank you, everyone, for bringing your A game. I'm always so impressed by everyone. I believe our next episode is, in fact, only a week from now, correct?
I believe that should be correct.
Now, this is something I need to bring up with you, Color and Mod team, because I just need to know if I'm coming home early or not. So, earlier this week, Mind's Eye Tribe, which is like the premier motion capture training squad in Los Angeles, posted their Thanksgiving open house, which is basically for one day, we're offering like introductory classes to all of our motion capture workshops for free. Naturally, I signed up for all of them, which means currently on Saturday, I am scheduled to be at this open house from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So my question to you is, are we in a spot where it is worth starting the stream at 6, or should I leave early to come home and start this at 5?
Next stream would be a nice thing to start a little early.
I am okay to do that. I'm totally willing to do that because all things considered, I've done these classes before. I'm really doing it just to kind of refresh my memory. And between you and me, not from a bragging front, the voiceover work has been keeping me busy enough, so I don't even know when I'd be able to start adding motion capture stuff on top of it. So I am not bothered by leaving the last class early to come home to start this at 5. I just needed to run that by you ahead of time. So, all right. So you heard it here, folks. God forbid, unless I somehow get invited to a convention happening next week, which is extremely unlikely at this point, our next live dub episode will be next Saturday. You don't have to worry about attending any other streams because, like I said, I am so slammed with stuff that I am on vocal rest practically every day. So that is where the main streams are on hiatus for the foreseeable future, but live dub is still happening. So next week, November 23rd, 5 p.m., I hope to see you there. And I believe I owe someone specific a raid tonight, don't I? Save Data Team. Hedge, tell me about Save Data Team.
Alright, so Save Data Team, they're these group of guys based all around the United States. I say guys, but I mean that in a general sense. They are one of the many groups who did an Ace Attorney with an actual lawyer series, in which they have 2 voice actors of their own and a lawyer who has never played through any of the games go through the entire game series. They recently finished up Dual Destinies and are currently jumping to the Edgeworth games. But they're a very cool set of people, and they are currently hosting a 24-hour charity stream for Extra Life, which is a charity that uses gamers and other people active online.
Are they playing Ace Attorney
I
right
get
now?
Funds for
Are they playing
Children's Hospital.
Are they playing
They're
Ace Attorney?
currently
Okay,
not
go.
streaming Ace Attorney.
Okay.
Not at this exact moment.
What are they
It is
playing?
the thing that they're primarily known for.
Sure. So I can write the raid phrase. What are they playing?
Let me double check real quick. Because they've been going for 24 hours, so it's changed since the last time I checked.
Okay.
Let's see. They are currently hosting like a quiz game amongst themselves. It's not an actual game.
Okay. What's the quiz game called?
But they are raising money for the Children's Hospital of Orange County right now with the quiz game.
Okay. Okay, here's a bunch of extra eyes to help you with saving extra lives. There we go. There's our raid
that's
phrase.
a good one. You are witty.
I try to be. All right, y'all. I love you very much. A big round of applause to all of our cast, new and returning. Please consider trying out Dragon Quest III. It called me out really hard, and I'm going to be experiencing that tonight. Thank you for supporting me in my VO endeavors. I'm trying to think of anything else I need to bring up. Oh, next week, 1 week from today, 5 o'clock p.m. Hope to see you for more. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. I believe we're 2 episodes away from being done, right? Color?
Huh?
I
Sorry,
believe
say
we're
that one time.
we're 2 episodes away
Two
from being
episodes
done.
away. Correct.
Oh, the end is near. We're almost there. Anyway, until next time, you all, take care, show some love, and I'll see you next week. Good night.
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Good night.